Prince Harry at number 3. All right, we got 2 and 1 left. Who's going to be number 2? Diddy made it at number 2. Wow, who's number 1? Who's number 1?
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
They're ridiculous.
No.
She never stops whining.
No.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
You can't really see what is happening as a family unit. This photo represents the state of this couple's marriage and their life in general.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
She is an absolute user of the media. She uses every conceivable way to try and play the victim and score points.
Apparently, she's not caring about what people think. Oh, yeah, right. I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
Do you think your sister, Meghan Markle, has ruined Prince Harry?
The answer is yes.
Retire, bitch!
Opposite. I mean, that's just another one of the malarkey stories she sold to the royal family for sympathy.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
And in the tape, she's performing a sex act on him that's unbelievable.
She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work. She wants the tiara. She doesn't want the public service.
You look lovely. Thank you, so do you.
Before we get into it,
I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Nasty, and says he feels sorry for Prince Harry because his wife is a lot to deal with.
And then the wife convinces you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
There was a sex tape about her.
And I saw it.
She is so full of shit.
Today's Suits actress Meghan Markle married some unemployed dude who still lives with his grandma.
It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
You might want to try the combo Andrew, Island, and Epstein.
And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
So apparently Meghan Markle has done it again. And when I say again, I mean she has officially, unapologetically, and aggressively secured the crown for 2025's most hated celebrity, a title nobody asked her to compete for. Yet somehow she dominates like it's the Olympics of public outrage. But wait, how did we get here? How did the woman who once broke the internet with a royal wedding become the same woman the internet now wants to return with store credit? Because the way Meghan reacted, chilly rage is too soft a word. Sources, the same ones who magically appear whenever Meghan breathes wrong, claim she threw her phone, screamed at Harry, and demanded an immediate PR resurrection like she was summoning Avengers for damage control. And honestly, be real with me for 2 seconds. How does someone become this disliked without even releasing a new Netflix flop this month? Is it talent? Is it strategy? Is it witchcraft? Or is it simply Meghan Markle being Meghan Markle, a full-time celebrity? This video time Duchess and permanent headline generator? Tonight, we're diving into the scandal that's got Buckingham Palace sipping tea, Hollywood whispering in corners, and Harry quietly Googling how to disappear without leaving any trace. Buckle up, because this story, it's messy, it's petty, and it's about to get louder than Meghan's PR team on a Monday morning. From the very moment Meghan Markle saw her name plastered everywhere as 2025's most hated celebrity, insiders say something inside her snapped like a Wi-Fi router during a storm. Overnight, the woman who once rebranded herself as Hollywood's misunderstood humanitarian allegedly began pacing around their Montecito mansion like she was preparing for a UFC fight with the British media. And the funniest part? Nobody was even surprised. Because if there's one thing Meghan loves more than public attention, it's being offended by public attention, anonymous sources, meaning people who definitely don't want to get sued, claim Meghan immediately activated what can only be described as DEFCON 5 Duchess mode. Harry, meanwhile, was seen hovering behind her like an extra from The Crown, clutching an emotional support smoothie while whispering, It's okay, love. It's just a list. Lots of people are hated, even me sometimes. But Meghan wasn't hearing any of it. She wanted names, receipts, explanations, and maybe an apology from the universe itself. Because according to Meghan, she is never the problem. The world is, but to understand why this most hated title hit her harder than Netflix canceling another royal reboot, you have to rewind. Because Meghan's controversy timeline. Phew, it's longer than a royal procession and twice as dramatic. Every year since 2018 has been a new season of Keeping Up with the Sussexes. Except instead of fun cliffhangers, we get explosive interviews, flying accusations, and Harry sitting there blinking in Morse code like he's begging for help. People started side-eyeing Meghan the moment she entered the royal scene. Why? Because she didn't fit the traditional palace mold. She wasn't quiet. She wasn't obedient. And she definitely wasn't interested in playing the role of Royal Barbie. Instead, she used her voice, loudly, proudly, and occasionally incorrectly, and the British media did what they do best. They turned her into the villain before she even unpacked her suitcase in Kensington Palace, but then came the interview. The Oprah interview. The moment Meghan went from Duchess to Diva-in-Chief of global controversy. Every statement she made got dissected like a biology class frog. People argued for months about whether she was telling the truth, exaggerating, or simply misremembering facts as if she were narrating her own Netflix drama special. And let's be honest, Meghan doesn't just speak. She monologues. She delivers every sentence like it's meant to win an Oscar for Best Performance in a category nobody. As for Dot, then there's Harry, sweet Harry, the man who left the royal family, the military, the UK, and apparently common sense, all in the name of true love and mental health. But even supporters started wondering if Harry was following Meghan or fleeing from Buckingham Palace. Was he protecting her? Being manipulated? Or simply enjoying the thrill of being the world's most dramatic +1? Their decision to step back from royal duties didn't just shake the palace walls. It sent aftershocks across every gossip outlet on Earth. You couldn't check Instagram, Twitter, or even LinkedIn without seeing someone debating Meghan's moral compass or Harry's spine, or lack thereof. And while Meghan framed their exit as liberation, the British public saw it as betrayal. Meanwhile, the American public was like, oh cool, a reality show. Until they realized Meghan wasn't planning to entertain them. She was planning to lecture them. Then came the podcast, the documentaries, the speeches, the interviews, the lawsuits, and the endless PR spins. Meghan talked about empowerment while allegedly treating staff like disposable accessories. She preached privacy while signing million-dollar media deals. She complained about fame while hiring photographers to capture her grocery trips. The contradictions piled up like Meghan's abandoned brand partnerships. So when the 2025 list of most hated celebrities dropped, nobody gasped, nobody fainted, the internet barely flinched. For most people, it was like, oh, Meghan's #1, that tracks. But Meghan? Oh, she took it personally. Sources claim she locked herself in her media command center, a room allegedly filled with vision boards, inspirational quotes, and PR strategy binders labeled New Narrative 3, 0 Inches, and Emergency Reputation Protocol. She started making frantic calls to her team, demanding an investigation. How did this happen? Who conducted this poll? Why wasn't I informed sooner? Is there any way we can legally challenge a public ranking chart? Insiders say Meghan's meltdown was so intense that even her PR managers had to mute themselves multiple times just to laugh. They told her the same thing every publicist tells a client who's trending for the wrong reasons. It's temporary. It's fine. People will forget in 48 hours. But Meghan doesn't believe in temporary. She believes in legacy, especially her legacy. And nothing threatens a legacy like being labeled the most hated, on a list that probably took 3 interns and a broken spreadsheet to compile. But here's where the story gets even messier. Meghan is convinced that the royal family is behind this. She allegedly told Harry that someone at Buckingham Palace deliberately planted the ranking, hoping to finish her reputation once and for all. Harry, bless him, reportedly replied with the emotional equivalent of a shrug. I mean, could be. Hard to say. But according to insiders, he looked exhausted. The kind of exhausted you only see in men who have been arguing about public perception for 7 straight years. And yet, Meghan's rage didn't stop there. She sees this not just as an insult, but as proof of a global conspiracy to undermine her influence. She reportedly said, "They fear me, that's why they attack me. I am powerful, I am unstoppable, I am a threat." Which, yeah, she's definitely a threat, mostly to her own PR team's sanity, but Meghan doesn't just rage, she strategizes. And according to anonymous friends, who might actually be staffers reporting anonymously to survive, she's planning a UL-scale media comeback. Not a mild one, a massive one. The kind that includes a tell-all memoir sequel, a new docu-series, a charity initiative, a rebranding announcement, and possibly a subtle dig at Kate Middleton in Meghan world that's called Tuesday. But as Meghan plotted her next legendary PR battle, something else was happening online. Something she didn't expect. The internet had turned this scandal into a meme fest. Within hours, TikTok, X, and Instagram were flooded with videos laughing at the ranking, mocking Meghan's reaction, and remixing her old interviews into new parody edits. The hashtag most hated celebrity 2025 was trending in 22 countries minus 15 of which Meghan probably can't even locate on a map. People were commenting things like, "Did she win a trophy? Can we get a speech? Does she rehearse being this dramatic?" And I swear she gets more plot twists than the Marvel Universe. Even celebrities chimed in. Fake insiders claim Selena Gomez posted and deleted a cryptic story saying, "Girl, breathe." Meanwhile, Kris Jenner allegedly said, "She should call me. I could turn this into cash." And Piers Morgan, the man who wakes up every morning thinking about Meghan, posted a 27-tweet rant that nobody read past tweet 2. But the real plot twist came when internal documents, totally fake. Don't worry, suggested Meghan's own behavior contributed majorly to the ranking. Leaked polls claimed people were tired of her contradictory messaging, endless victim narratives, and constant attempts to rewrite reality in her favor. They said, "She's overexposed, she's exhausting. She's a full-time drama subscription none of us signed up for." And this, TH is the part that allegedly broke her. Not the ranking, not the memes, but the idea that the public was simply tired of her. Meghan thrives on attention. Negative, positive, mixed, it doesn't matter. What she can't tolerate is irrelevance. And as her frustration reached a boiling point, as she stormed around the mansion planning her revenge tour, as the memes got louder and the criticism sharper, Meghan suddenly realized something that changed everything. Something that will push her into the next chaotic chapter of this scandal. Because the moment Meghan realized the public wasn't scared of her, wasn't obsessed with her, wasn't even passionately hating her anymore, but simply exhausted by her, that's when the real panic began. Insiders say she froze mid-rant, eyes widened, voice went quiet, and she whispered something that allegedly shook Harry to his freckles. "They're bored of me?" Harry didn't know what to say. What could he say? "Yes, love, the world is tired of your 97-part victim documentary arc?" No, so he did what every emotionally fatigued husband does. He hugged her awkwardly and mumbled something vague like, "People move on, it's natural," hoping she wouldn't spiral deeper. Spoiler, she spiraled deeper. Because to Meghan, irrelevance is worse than scandal. Worse than backlash. Worse than British tabloids. Irrelevance is death. And if the world is already calling her the most hated celebrity of 2025, then she refuses to also become the most forgotten celebrity of 2026 over her Dior-clad, Netflix-sponsored body. This was the moment. Meghan allegedly launched what her team privately calls Operation Global Sympathy Reset, a master plan so dramatic, so chaotic, so aggressively Meghan-coded that her own PR managers reportedly asked for stress leave on the spot. But Meghan didn't care. She stormed into the living room with the energy of a general about to invade a country nobody asked her to invade. Step 1 of Operation Global Sympathy Reset. Simple. Blame someone. Anyone. Preferably someone British. Preferably someone royal. Preferably someone named Kate. Sources say Meghan picked up her phone and began drafting a speech, yes, a literal speech accusing a senior royal of sabotaging her reputation once again. She didn't name names, but she sprinkled enough clues that even people who failed Year 5 English could guess she meant Kate Middleton. Meghan allegedly told Harry, "This is my truth. The world needs to hear my truth. They have silenced me long enough." Harry just nodded, staring into the distance, like a man trying to astral project out of his own home. But here's where things got even juicier. Not only was Meghan planning a speech, but her team was simultaneously preparing a massive data leak, exposing what they claim is evidence of public manipulation campaigns against her. This so-called evidence includes screenshots of negative comments, an Excel sheet listing journalists she doesn't like, a blurry image of a palace staffer. Meghan swears gave her a dirty look in 2019, and a half-written Google Doc titled, "Why Meghan Was Right Again." Yet Meghan insisted it was proof of a conspiracy, a global one. A coordinated attempt to destroy an influential woman of color. Her PR team begged her to calm down, to wait, to think, but Meghan doesn't do wait. Meghan does impact. She allegedly told them, "If I don't fight back now, I'll lose my voice." To which one tired PR director muttered under their breath, "You've posted more statements in 3 years than the Queen did in 70, but obviously they didn't say it out loud." They enjoy employment, but while Meghan prepared to unleash her comeback hurricane, something else was happening behind the scenes. Something that shook the PR world more than her title as most hated. Leaked emails, fake ones, obviously, revealed her team's discussions about her uncontrollable behavior, spiral-like reactions, and obsessive fixation on winning public approval. One staffer allegedly wrote, "We're not managing a public figure. We're managing a telenovela character with Wi-Fi." And while Meghan was convinced she was uncovering a global conspiracy against her, Hollywood executives were quietly backing away. One anonymous producer posted in a private forum, "Working with Meghan is like working with a malfunctioning smoke alarm. She goes off every hour and nobody knows why." Netflix. Insiders even whispered that Meghan's latest pitch, a royal revenge thriller inspired by her own life, was politely declined because executives wanted escapism, not trauma with lighting. Meanwhile, Harry wasn't helping matters. He allegedly tried soothing Meghan by suggesting they take a break from media, maybe travel, maybe reconnect with nature. Meghan reacted like he suggested they move into a cave and milk yaks. "A break?" she supposedly yelled. "When the world is trying to erase me? Harry, don't be naive." Poor Harry, this man hasn't known peace since 2017. But the real escalation came when Meghan dialed up the drama another notch. She started leaking exclusive insider updates to her favorite journalists, except the stories she pushed were so wild, so obviously exaggerated, that even her most loyal media allies hesitated. She tried pushing narratives like, Meghan secretly does charity work anonymously in 6 countries every week. Meghan turned down an Oscar because she wanted to stay humble. Meghan is writing a children's book about healing from public hatred. Meghan saved Harry from a life of oppression using emotional intelligence. Even tabloids were like, "Girl, be serious." But Meghan didn't stop there. She allegedly hired a new PR expert specializing in narrative warfare, whatever that means, and demanded a full rebranding campaign. She wanted her public image reconstructed from the ashes. She wanted redemption. And she wanted it fast. The plan? A multi-platform media event Meghan believed would shift global consciousness. This included a televised statement, a special podcast episode, a leaked anonymous letter, and an emotional sit-down interview with a sympathetic host. But as Meghan prepared for her media resurrection, the internet was gearing up for entertainment. People were placing bets on what Meghan would blame next. The tabloids, the monarchy, racism, sexism, astrology, traffic, gluten, Mercury retrograde. TikTok was overflowing with skits like, "Breaking, Meghan blames the moon for labeling her the most hated." "Breaking, Meghan claims she invented kindness." "Breaking, Harry seen hiding behind plants again." Even brands joined the fun. Duolingo posted, "Learn how to apologize." Unlike certain duchesses, Wendy's tweeted, "Most hated." We can relate. Call us, but the real chaos came from the British tabloids who sensed Meghan's anger like sharks smell blood. They published full spreads mocking her reaction. "Meghan has another meltdown." "Duchess of Drama strikes again." "Harry reportedly hiding behind couch until further notice." Meanwhile, Meghan's inner circle was imploding. Staff members were quitting quietly. Consultants were sending polite, "We regret to inform you" messages. Even Oprah allegedly declined Meghan's request for a follow-up interview, citing schedule conflicts that may last indefinitely. But Meghan wasn't giving up. She wanted revenge. And she wanted the world to feel guilty for not worshipping her. So she allegedly crafted a new storyline, a narrative of herself as a phoenix rising from hatred. A misunderstood heroine wronged by the world. And that storyline became the centerpiece of her upcoming broadcast. She planned to reveal how deeply the most hated title wounded her soul. How she cried. How she fought through the pain. How she overcame the trauma of not being universally adored 24/7. She wanted the world to know she was strong, resilient, powerful, but something else happened, something she absolutely did not expect, while preparing her grand media comeback. While rehearsing her emotional pauses, while rewriting her lines to sound more victim-y, while practicing her humble, wounded warrior face. Leaked reports emerged alleging that Meghan's own team conducted internal surveys and the results were disastrous. According to insider whispers, even her supporters were losing interest. Many respondents allegedly said things like, "She's always in drama. She's exhausting. Every story ends with her being the victim. It's predictable." This was the moment that allegedly broke her all over again, because Meghan can handle hate. She can handle criticism. But she can't handle being predictable. And as this realization shattered her renewed hope, Meghan allegedly collapsed into a chair, looked at Harry with a trembling voice, and said, "Why do they hate me for being myself?" Harry, exhausted, reportedly replied, "Maybe stop being yourself, just a little bit." That's when Meghan snapped again. And that meltdown triggered the single most chaotic decision of her entire career, one that would ignite a public firestorm so intense, so messy, so hysterically Meghan that even the palace couldn't ignore it. Because by now, even the royal commentators who used to pretend they were neutral were sitting on their live streams like, okay, let's just say it out loud. Meghan wants a throne without a kingdom, a crown without a legacy, and an empire without the work. And the wild part, the more they said it, the more the narrative stuck. Suddenly, Meghan wasn't the misunderstood duchess. She wasn't the freedom-fighting American princess. She became the main character of the world's messiest PR meltdown, a woman who thought she could outsmart centuries of monarchy, millions of critics, and her own collapsing public image, all by doing the one thing she was worst at, acting unbothered. But the cracks were showing, and baby, they were showing loud. Because while Meghan's team was trying to spin her as the victim of 2025's hate wave, insiders were leaking something way worse, that Meghan wasn't just furious about being labeled the most hated celebrity alive. She was panicking about the one headline she couldn't control anymore, that her influence was officially dead. Not controversial. Not complicated. Not polarizing, just dead, expired, over a relic of a glossier, shinier era when a Netflix deal and a few teary interviews were enough to manipulate. Global sympathy, but sympathy doesn't trend anymore. Trauma doesn't trend anymore. What trends is receipts, contradictions, exposes, and public downfall, and Meghan had unintentionally given the media all four, and that's where the story explodes. And that's where the story explodes. Because just when everyone thought Meghan was busy plotting her royal revenge, another leak came out, this time from inside one of the biggest PR firms in Los Angeles. A whistleblower claiming Meghan didn't just react to the most hated celebrity label. She launched a private investigation to find out who was orchestrating the campaign against her. She allegedly demanded transcripts, IP addresses, analytics breakdowns, TikTok shadow networks, Twitter bot patterns, everything, not to defend herself, not to fix her reputation, but to punish whoever dared to go against her. According to that source, Meghan was convinced the hate wave wasn't organic. She believed it was designed, coordinated, strategically timed. And above all, she believed one person was behind it. Kate Middleton. And when that rumor hit social media, baby, the internet cracked open like an egg. Because now we weren't in celebrity drama territory. We were in psychological warfare, PR espionage, and royal-level sabotage. People started pulling up every old clip of Meghan side-eyeing Kate. Every interview where she avoided saying Kate's name, every moment Meghan seemed insecure when Kate walked into a room. And suddenly TikTok analysts were treating Meghan's meltdown like a full-blown investigation, bored on criminal minds. But then came the twist. A completely different insider stepped forward and said Meghan was wrong. The hate campaign wasn't from Kate at all. It wasn't from the royal family. It wasn't from Buckingham Palace. The real problem, allegedly, was Harry. Yes, Meghan's own husband, because according to that source, Harry had spent the last year doing what he does best. Saying too much, oversharing, venting, confiding in people who were totally loyal until they weren't, and eventually, bits of his frustration, resentment, and regret leaked out. Not directly, not publicly, but enough to build a silent narrative. Harry wasn't happy. Not with the decision to leave the royal family. Not with the way Meghan handled the media. Not with how their American dream turned into a PR swamp. Not with the fact that every move they made was called desperate. And not with Meghan's iron control over their image, especially now that the image had imploded. So, when Meghan saw the most hated celebrity of 2025 headlines, she allegedly assumed it was the royals. She allegedly suspected Kate. She allegedly suspected William. She allegedly suspected every palace staffer from 2018. But it never crossed her mind that the hate wave might have grown from the quiet misery brewing inside their own multi-million-dollar home. And that, according to insiders, is exactly what broke Meghan's composure. Because if the entire world turned against her, Meghan could fight that. She could spin it, frame it, redirect it, manipulate it. But if Harry, her last ally, her co-fighter, her co-victim, had quietly created the cracks in her armor, then that means Meghan wasn't just hated. She was outnumbered, outplayed, and outmaneuvered by her own reality. But the drama didn't end there, because as usual, Hollywood smells blood. And the moment Meghan became 2025's most hated celebrity, the studios that once treated her like royalty suddenly switched sides. Scripts paused. Meetings got delayed. Netflix executives stopped responding at the speed of light. Producers started exploring other names for roles Meghan was rumored to be considering. And the entertainment industry did what it always does when someone becomes a PR liability. It quietly backed away. People close to Meghan claimed she spiraled. That she couldn't believe Hollywood would treat her like the tabloids treated her. That after all her attempts to rebrand herself as a powerful public figure, she was still seen as unpredictable, emotional, and harder to manage than she was worth. And when she tried to fight back, the internet just spiraled harder. Every clip she posted was roasted. Every quote was mocked. Every public appearance was dissected. And every attempt to look unbothered was ridiculed because the public could smell the panic on her like perfume. And then came the bombshell moment, the one that sent Meghan from controversial celebrity to global spectacle. A journalist from a British tabloid claimed that Meghan's team reached out behind the scenes to negotiate the headline down, not remove it, not correct it, not challenge it, negotiate it. As in, can we swap most hated for most criticized? Or can we soften the language? Or can we reframe it as a misunderstood narrative? But the tabloid said no. Social media said no. Public sentiment said no. And suddenly Meghan realized that for the first time in her adult life, she wasn't controlling the narrative, she was trapped inside it. And when that reality hit, the meltdown allegedly escalated. Insiders claimed Meghan started questioning every friend, every assistant, every advisor. She demanded loyalty checks. She demanded silence. She demanded full control of the home, the media strategy, and Harry's appearance schedule. Because if she couldn't change how people saw her, she could at least tighten the grip on her environment. But the irony? The tighter she tried to control it, the worse everything looked. Fans started calling her Hollywood's new Amber Heard. Critics started labeling her the female Kanye of PR disasters. And even neutral commentators were like, look, when someone becomes this obsessed with controlling their own reputation, it's because they know they've lost it. And with that, Meghan's story shifted from messy to tragic, because behind every headline, every meltdown, every leaked story, every fight, every rumor, there was one simple truth. Meghan Markle wanted a place in history, a legacy, a storyline that would make her unforgettable, and she got it, but not the version she imagined. She became the cautionary tale, the blueprint of overexposure, the case study of what happens when a public figure tries to fight the entire internet at once. And as 2025 rolled on, the biggest irony of all was this: the more Meghan fought to escape the most hated title, the more she proved she deserved it in the eyes of the public, because no one hates someone for being misunderstood. They hate them for pretending they're above the consequences, for thinking they can control a world built on chaos, for acting like the victim when they started half the fire. And Meghan? She had become the face of that contradiction. Her story wasn't about a duchess who broke free. It wasn't about a woman fighting a cruel system. It wasn't about a celebrity misunderstood by the world. Her story became about one simple downfall, a woman who believed she could manipulate the public, until the public manipulated her back. And somewhere inside their California mansion, they say Meghan finally realized the truth. You can escape a palace. You can escape a family. You can escape a contract. But you cannot escape your reputation. Not when the internet has already decided what you are. And for Meghan Markle in 2025, that title wasn't glamorous or inspiring or empowering. It was brutal, humiliating, and permanent. The most hated celebrity of the year, and the only question left now isn't whether Meghan can fix it, but whether Meghan can survive it. So now the only thing left hanging in the air, floating like a royal ghost over California, is this one question: where does Meghan Markle even go from here? Because baby, when the internet hands you the crown of most hated celebrity, that's not a title, that's a life sentence. And Meghan knows it. Harry knows it. Hollywood knows it. Even the PR interns hiding behind burner accounts know it. But listen, if you want the full breakdown of what Meghan does next, if you want the leaks, the secret meetings, the meltdown footage, the Hollywood blacklist rumors, the Kate versus Meghan Cold War, Harry's alleged regret, and the behind-the-scenes chaos that insiders swear is coming next week, then you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button like you're slamming a palace door. Turn on notifications so you're the first to catch the next explosion, and drop a comment telling me whose downfall, drama, or disaster you want exposed next, because in this world, no celebrity is safe, no PR team is strong enough, and no narrative survives once the internet decides it's time for the truth until the next scandal. Stay masked, stay watching, and stay ready. Masked, stay watching, and stay ready.